today on Divorce Court.
I feel like Matthew's phone is the other woman in the relationship.
She feels like I've been on my phone all day and that nothing's getting done in the house and that the kids are running around just making a mess.
Communicating is the #1 thing that we do struggle with, because as far as listening to each other, once I'm not listening to, it's kind of like I don't want to listen to him either at that point.
I want her to let Amber know that I've been faithful and I'm here for her, and that I'm not going nowhere. I'm trying to be a family man.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Amber Thayer and Matthew Thayer. Mr. and Mrs. Thayer, you have been together for 5 years and married for the last 2. You have 2 children together, but you have 3 children from previous relationships. Mrs. Thayer, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why we're here in Divorce Court today?
Okay, well, it all started back in January of 2012 when I first met Matthew. When we first started out, it was friends with benefits to begin with. And starting out there, of course, that probably started us to go left from the beginning. But in September, I got pregnant with our son. And in September, when I got pregnant with our son...
Were you still friends with benefits when you got pregnant, or have you...
Friends with benefits still.
Now, let me ask you a question. If you're friends with benefits, don't you, like, really lay hard on the birth control?
Yes.
But you didn't?
No, I didn't.
What did you think would happen? Seriously.
At that point, I just really wasn't trying to be in a relationship, and of course, not planning properly. We ended up having a baby together, and when we did do that, that's when things got serious. Once I was pregnant, that's when things were serious, like, well, we need to settle down. Matthew had asked me to move in September of 2012, and when I did move in, it was okay at first, but as things went on, one time, for instance, me and Matthew had just got done having sex, and he turns over, his phone's going off. He turns over, and mind you, I'm already pregnant at this time. I see him text somebody, "I love you and I miss you too."
Mr. Thayer, do you remember that instance?
Yeah, I do.
What happened?
At that time, we still weren't serious. We still weren't officially, like, in a relationship.
She was pregnant with your baby. She was living in your house.
He
she
asked
was
me to
sleeping
move
in your
in.
bed, but things weren't serious?
No, not at the time. I didn't feel like they were serious.
But he asked me to move in.
Really?
Yeah.
When you asked her to move in, did you make it clear that you were still seeing other women?
She knew from the jump that I was still talking to other women.
No, I didn't.
And I was still talking to one person at the time. It was a little hard to break it off with that person. And after that, Amber did leave me, and she left for about 4 months. And during that time, I did realize the error in my ways, and I realized that I did mess up big time by losing the mother of my kid, my very first kid at that. And Amber never did me dirty. She was always there for me when I needed her to be.
So you straightened it up?
Yes, I
because
did.
you left?
Yeah.
That's not happened?
Nope.
What happened?
When I left, I actually went through his emails and saw that he was still emailing this person while I was
Those are old
gone.
emails.
And then when I actually
That's what
emailed
he's
her.
gonna
I
do.
emailed her.
Let me tell you something, Mrs. Thayer. You got to be a reasonable individual. You leave a dude because he's seeing another woman. He's not going to stop seeing
He's
the other
never
woman.
met this person face to face.
Huh?
He's never met this person face to face. Texting, emailing, and that's it. He's never talked to them on the phone.
Yes, I did. I talked to him on the phone all the time. And we video chatted all the time, too.
This is just such a hot mess.
Yeah.
Do you guys think at all? I mean, is there any... Holy moly. Tell me what happened the day you had the baby.
Okay, so the day we had our first baby, when we went into the hospital and, well, when I was pregnant and having contractions, I told him to call someone to take us to the hospital. And he tells me, hold on, let me finish this level on my game real quick. I can't hold off on having a baby. Now,
Mr. Thayer, did you tell her to hang on, hold the baby in?
No.
Because I got to finish this level?
I was playing a game on my phone at the time. I'm not going to deny that. But I was almost done with that level, and
Mind you, I have my kids quick.
All priorities, Judge.
I have my babies quick.
Oh, you don't have to explain.
it
I don't
was
care
done.
if you have
Yeah, I'm like
3-day labors. You know, at the moment the contractions hit, you need to be focused on her. The game is no longer relevant.
I understand
And
that
I
now.
can't even believe I gotta tell you that. You should, by your own wants and desires, be interested in this woman giving birth to your first baby.
Yeah,
I don't even get it.
But that time when I was playing the game, when she was having the contractions, that was almost close to midnight when we got to the hospital. They didn't break her water until 7 o'clock in the morning.
Doesn't matter. When she does an adult thing, go into labor, you put down your little toys and you handle your man's business. You with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Good night, nurse. I'm mad already. And we just got started.
We also have our second pregnancy. Also, we had an issue with the
What
second
happened during the
time.
second Now, first of all, second pregnancy sounds ludicrous to me, given the context of the first. Having said that, go ahead and tell me.
So the second pregnancy, we were on our way. This time, the ambulance came. We were on our way to the hospital. I'm already 45 minutes away from the hospital. I'm gonna give birth at. Ambulance got lost. He's in the front seat with the ambulance. What's he doing again? On his phone. Instead of telling them, hey, this is the way you can go to get there easier, while I'm in the back in pain, mad, yelling, upset, he's just sitting there on his phone while they're just lost driving around. And it's a car full of guys.
Did you not, at least direct the ambulance driver to help things out?
I was paying attention where he was going, and I figured he knew where he was going, so I didn't have to pay attention to the road since he was driving.
I'm outdone. That having been said, I'm going to move on to the next topic, which is that of your family. I understand they cannot stand you, and I want to know why they can't stand you and what kind of trouble it has caused in your relationship.
They had no idea we were having a second child. They have not been around my second child.
That's their behavior. Don't tag him with their behavior. He made a decision. He got you pregnant a couple times. He decided to marry you, even if his family didn't like you. So that goes in his win column. Mrs. Thayer, I understand that Mr. Thayer's family doesn't like you. Can you tell me some of the things his family members have done that made you believe they did not like you?
Well, one of his family members just blatantly called me the N-word in front of my oldest daughter, so that
And I defended her on that one. And it wasn't to her expectations because I didn't use no curse words and I didn't cuss them out. But I did address the situation and I let them know that we're all the same, no matter what skin color we are, and we all bleed the same color at the end of the day. And
so did he stand up for you?
Not that day. Not when it first happened, no. After I complained about it, yes.
Did she have to complain first?
she still complained about it after I addressed it. I did address it that same day, but she still complained about it.
But did she have to prompt you to do it?
No.
Okay, you did it on your own.
Yes.
No, I prompted him after that family member also said that they also didn't want him with someone who already had kids.
Mm-hmm. Really?
And that's what we should be called, and we should be okay with being called that, and I should just suck it up and not say anything about it and let them degrade me like
Whoa,
that.
that's deep. Did all that occur?
That did happen, and I don't talk to that person now for that same fact. If they can't respect my wife or my relationship or me, then they have no part in my life at all.
Well, way to show up a man, Mr. Thayer. I like that. Did he do that? You got to give him, he came in light a couple times, but you got to give him his props when he comes correct, and he came correct, did he not?
Yes, and when he did say something to that family member, another family member comes to me, and after he paid for his family member's kids all the time. All the time they were able to spend money, trick it off, and come ask him because they had kids and knew he was gonna feel bad for them. And with them knowing that, I mean, I'm talking $900 on Bath and Body Works, whole checks, and them telling
didn't know
him,
nothing about
hey,
that.
my
Like-
kids don't have milk or diapers, and he was able to just jump and go do that. And when I told them he was having his own baby and he's not gonna be able to afford to do that anymore, that family member got mad at me and told me that he uses their phone to text other women and then give them the phone back when he's done. Now, I don't know if that's true, but they did say that, and given the history,
You know,
what am I
you don't
supposed to
know,
believe?
yeah, what are you supposed to believe?
She couldn't show the proof, though, the messages in her phone. If I used her phone, then
I don't think she believes them. I don't think she believes that
hope
family
not.
member. I really don't think she believes it. I think she believes that your family simply hates her. But you chose her. He chose you over them. He's with you. He married you, and he chose you. So you can't continue to tag him with the bad behavior that his family engages in as long as he defends you when it's at all possible.
I feel like he married me behind their back. They didn't know until I mentioned to them that we were married. They had no idea we were having a second child. They have not been around my second child.
That's their behavior. Don't tag him with their behavior. He made a decision. He got you pregnant a couple times. He decided to marry you, even if his family didn't like you. So that goes in his win column. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad that his people are acting ignorantly. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad about that. You gotta actually applaud him for standing in that storm, because nobody wants to lose their family. He lost his family to be with you. You gotta give him credit for that. Okay? What do you see as the biggest problem in your marriage?
her being on her phone, she started this this group on Facebook where they post memes about other people and they talk about other people. And she's an admin in that group, so she's always on that page, and that's what she does. Whenever I come home from work, she's on that page, or she's on Instagram or Snapchat.
Okay. Now, Mrs. Thayer, we're gonna have to talk about your use of electronics. Mrs. Thayer, you say he has an issue with weed.
Yeah,
Too much of it.
Weed and his friends. He puts his friends and weed before me.
I have epilepsy, and I've had it since I was 14. I do smoke.
And it
Yeah, I've
calms
3
down.
years.
Overly smokes.
I've had 3 years without a seizure.
So do you spend an inordinate amount of time on this thing?
My petty group.
Your meme group?
I used to, but he was in the group with me, so we were both in the group.
She just added me. I didn't know until I started seeing notifications all day.
How many hours a day would you spend doing this?
I was on the phone at night. During the day, I take care of the kids while he's at work all day, so I'm not on my phone during
I
the
still
day,
get
of course.
notifications during the day. When she posted this or she posted that or she comments
I don't
on this.
believe you put your phone down all day. Don't believe it.
I take naps during the day. So when I do take a nap with the kids, like if I clean in the morning or I take the other kids to school, and I also have one of my family members' children too. So during the day, yes. So drop kids off. I also have to drop him off at work and drive him around too because he doesn't drive. So I'm in the car, and then when I get home, I barely have enough time to be online. So when he comes home, yeah, I'm online at that time. If you're on your phone playing a game and you're not paying attention to me, I'm gonna walk out the room and go sit on the couch and get on my
playing a game
phone.
when I first come home from work. She's on her phone and she just stays on her phone. So she's saying I'm playing video games on my phone. So how am I playing a video game when I first walk in the door from being at work
Let me
9 hours?
ask you this. Are any of your kids engaged in extracurricular activities? You ever go outside? You ever take a walk? Does anybody throw a ball?
Yeah.
I mean, is everybody just electronically engaged and otherwise just vapid, sitting there?
No, the kids, they play outside. They
kids-
play outside during the day with Amber. And on the weekends, I'll take them to the park, or we'll go out of town and we'll go to an amusement park or something, or water park during the summertime. So the kids aren't on electronic devices.
Do you
it's
read
adults.
to them?
Yeah, I do hands-on work with my kids during the day, which is why I say how much time the house is clean when he comes home. The dishes are
Is all
done.
that true?
Not all the time.
And I had surgery
There's some
a year
dishes,
ago.
and then I have to help clean the house, or I'll wash clothes,
I had a
and then
major surgery a year ago on my back.
Yes.
So
So
Come on.
Yeah, no,
Come
I
on.
do.
Yeah, you gotta help out.
on.
Oh yeah, no, I don't
Come
have no
on.
issues with helping out. Like I help out all the time. Like I'll wash the dishes. I'll let her take a nap during the day.
I got you, Ms. Thayer. You say he has an issue with weed.
He puts his friends and weed before me.
I have epilepsy, and I've had it since I was 14. And back in 2013, I had my last seizure, and I was on some pills. I was actually pushing the kids in Walmart, and I blanked out, and I thought I kidnapped somebody's kid. So I was in a panic for a good 10 minutes from the side effect of those pills, and I stopped taking those pills, and I do smoke.
And it
Yeah, I've
calms
3
down.
years.
Overly smokes.
I've had 3 years without a seizure.
Wow.
From going every year with the seizure, it's. And then
Is it medicinal? Because I believe in the medicinal value of weed. And I mean, you know,
If it was medicinal, then he should get his card. I feel like if it's medicinal, then his doctor should have told him, hey, here, yeah, you should smoke weed.
I didn't want to get a card just for the simple fact that it's still a Schedule 1, and once you get your card, you cannot no longer get financial aid. And I still want to go to college, and I do want to better myself.
You do think, Mr. Thayer.
I
You do think. Every
told
once
him
in a
that.
while. You had something that was the final straw that brought you here about food and the phone and video games. Quickly explain that to me.
I need him to step up more. I need him to help with the kids more. He says he takes them to the park. I have to complain and nag to get him to take them to the park. I had back surgery and knee surgery only a year ago. And even through all of that, I was walking my kids to and from school with staples and stitches in my stomach. And
We had a
I
car,
need
and
him
she
to help.
refused to drive.
He took the car to and from work. So when he had the car at work, I
Walk the kids.
would walk the kids to school with the staple stitches, back brace.
As out of pocket and bizarre conduct that you two engaged in the beginning of the relationship, you guys really brought it around. I know he's probably not perfect, and I know he spends too much time gaming because there's a whole generation of people who do the very same thing. So he's not extraordinary in that regard. You've got your own video thing happening, but you seem to be taking care of the children well. You seem to be on top of their education and their reading and what they need to do, and you turned your back on your family to turn towards your wife and your children. You go to work every day. I don't get that all the time in divorce court. You go to work every day. You guys just have these little niblet things to take care of that'll make it better. And you know, sometimes all a woman needs is to be heard when she gets in. We do a whole lot of stuff. Get in, sit down, talk to her face to face. No phone, no TV. You tell Junior, and Junior, sit over there for a minute and just, how was your day, baby? What you doing? How you feeling? That makes us feel valued and appreciated. Then you ask him, how was your day? How you doing? How you feeling? And make him feel appreciated and valued. Because ain't nothing really wrong here. As ridiculous as your relationship was when it started out, it turned out into a good thing because you're good people. Now, don't mess it up. I got a book called Making Marriage Work. Sit down, read it to each other, and live long and prosper. Hey, I like you people.
Well, to make our marriage better, I'm gonna start by communicating and asking him more about how his day was.
And I'm gonna make it better by putting my phone down and stop playing video games and start listening a little bit more and helping out.